Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Elevating Your Family and Consumer Sciences Program by Incorporating RealCare Baby. My name is Katie Stacy, and I'm on the marketing team here at Realityworks. I will be moderating today's webinar. I'm here with Karen McDowell and Mary Johnson, account managers with Realityworks, who will be presenting our webinar today. Before we begin today's presentation, I'd like to review a few quick logistics. A recorded version of this webinar will be available following today's presentation. A copy of that recording will be emailed to all attendees. All attendees will also receive a certificate of completion for taking the time to attend today. We'd love to hear from you. You can ask a question anytime using the questions and answers button in the upper left corner of your screen. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. With that, I'll turn the presentation over to Karen and Mary.
Thank you, Katie. This is Mary Johnson, one of the reps here, and we just want to welcome you to this webinar. And just quickly, who Realityworks is, we've been around for about 25 years. Our simulators are in the majority of school districts in the U.S., and we're also in schools all over the world trying to make a difference in education. We have started as a baby company, and we have expanded our product line now to that of health science and agriculture, as well as the trades like welding and electrical. Today, though, as Katie mentioned, we're going to be talking about elevating your FACS program and why use the RealCare Baby to do that. So we're going to be covering these topics, from engaging the Generation Z student, supports the fact that it supports experiential learning, your enrollment will increase, encouraging infant or child-related careers, it's effective, and we provide the tools to make it as easy as possible to implement. I'm going to turn it over to Karen now.
Hey, thanks, Mary, for kicking off with that last slide on why RealCare Baby, which is pretty much why you're here. We're going to highlight all the reasons why RealCare Baby can elevate your FACS program. But first, we really need to understand who the current students are in your FACS courses and what makes them tick. You may be familiar with the term Generation Z. Generation Z students are between the ages of 6 and 23, depending on where you get your data. And whatever you know about millennials or knew about millennials, you can just forget it. This generation is totally different in how they learn and view the world. So while millennials were seen with 2 screens, Generation Z can go between 5 screens. I guess you can call Gen Zers great multitaskers. Research from Microsoft has found that the human attention span is shortening. It is now just 8 seconds, and they say that is shorter than the attention span of the average goldfish. So remember that fact for later on in the presentation. And as a frame of reference, the millennial attention span was around 12 seconds. So Gen Zers, they process information a lot faster than any other generation. They are used to tweets and instant messaging instead of lengthy emails. An interesting side note that I discovered this week, a research study found that Gen Zers say that reliable Wi-Fi is more important to them than reliable bathrooms. So I can tell you that I'm definitely not from the Generation Z generation. I would much prefer a reliable bathroom. But despite their reliance on technology, this generation, they actually do prefer face-to-face contact. They are able to strike a balance between technology and social interaction. Generation Z, they're motivated by security. So they are children of the Great Recession of 2007. They want to avoid debt, which connects with that last bullet of independence, because they are trying to avoid the possibility of large student loans and student debt. They are more likely to skip college and go straight into the workforce. So recall that Generation Z students tend to be more like Dory, our famous goldfish. They're optimistic and they're kind, they're interested in everything, but they have short-term memory loss. So as educators, how do you work with these goldfish? So these are just a few tips. You need to create an engaging environment for them that is flexible with the use of short presentations, possibly even presentations in tweets. You need to present your information across multiple modalities and embrace experiential learning. And for those of you that are familiar with RealCare Baby, you know that RealCare Baby addresses most of these tips. So the main takeaway for Generation Z is that it is all about the experience for them. Students now read less and prefer active hands-on learning. They want to be successful, but they will disengage from the learning if they don't see the relevance. So while they want to see it and feel it, they want it to connect with real life, and all while incorporating technology. So the result from engaging your Gen Z students in this manner, for example, like using RealCare Baby, is that students will be drawn to your family and consumer science classes because they value the experience. We hear all the time at Realityworks that RealCare Baby is the main draw to some family and consumer science classes. So if you think about your goldfish, RealCare Baby can be the hook to get your goldfish swimming towards a valuable learning experience and a future career. All right, the second reason that RealCare Baby can elevate your FACS program is that it supports experiential learning research. And experiential learning has Generation Z in mind. So exactly what is experiential learning? In a nutshell, it helps students gain precious work-related social skills, gain maturity, and increases their confidence about the future. So next we're going to explore 4 reasons why FACS programs benefit from experiential learning using RealCare Baby. The first reason is that RealCare Baby promotes a positive attitude towards learning. Research shows that 10 out of 14 students who have been taught using the experiential education method express significantly more positive general attitudes towards their learning experiences. The logic is pretty simple. Students tend to do more of the activities that they enjoy than the activities they do not enjoy. And number 2 is RealCare Baby provides a true-to-life experience that enhances career exploration. Of course, students want to learn about careers, and you can teach them through slideshows and lectures, but a greater connection is formed when they receive hands-on career experience. RealCare Baby is an immersive simulation to present real-life infant care situations in real time, giving your students a better understanding of what career area they may enjoy or want to learn more about. Third is that RealCare Baby helps create more engaged members of the early childhood education workforce. A Gallup poll found recently that students who participated in work-based activities where lessons were learned in the classroom and were experiential in a hands-on career setting were up to 2 times more likely to be engaged later in work. And number 4, technology is a highly effective tool for experiential learning. So 93% of educators agree that classroom technology helps in their students' academic achievement, and 65% of educators say that technology helps them demonstrate things they wouldn't or couldn't show another way. So keep this in mind for your Generation Z student. They live in a digital age, and of course they expect to learn in a digital age. And a good tool, if you would like to go out to our website, all of these slides on experiential learning are summed up in this free poster that we have on our website. I'm going to click on it and show you where you can find that. So if you go to realityworks.com, under products, all the way down here at the bottom under additional resources is career exploration curriculum, which Mary's going to address in a little bit. And then we've got these Realityworks interactive posters. And if you click on that, you'll be able to find the experiential learning poster that I've got up here. And there's a lot of other posters there as well, some that will be really beneficial for your family and consumer science programs. So Mary, do you want to continue and discuss the career pathways addressed by using RealCare Baby?
I I would love to. Thank you, Karen. Yes, the other reasons why use the RealCare Baby to elevate your FACS program is because it's going to excuse me, encourage career pathways. And if we go down here, you'll see that there's a demand for careers related to the infant care. And quite a huge demand. It's interesting, just last week there was an article in the New York Times called Broken, Economics for Preschool Workers in the Child Care Sector. And to paraphrase, they said that there's a dire child care shortage, and many industry players now have non-compete clauses for child care workers, college tuition incentives, and non-refundable wait list fees for desperate parents seeking daycare slots. So just a really huge demand going on right now in child care centers. But there's more. If you take a look at this chart here, there's a variety of infant care careers, and besides that variety of careers, from child care center to the early childhood education, pediatrician, pediatric nurse, there's also quite a diverse income opportunities there as well. So by teaching child development 1 or 2, don't limit yourself to only a child care center worker. Although they are obviously needed, there are so many more options for careers related to infant care as well. But let's keep going on. If you take a look here, we're talking about after experiencing the child care experience here with the RealCare Babies, they can go on, and if they're looking for a child care career, they could put a statement like this on: looking to serve a reputed company in the role of child care worker, offering extensive knowledge, skills, and experience of overseeing and dealing with infants and toddlers. And then they can go on to add that their infant care experience has been an immersive simulation to present real-life infant care situations in real time. They can then show the data that this experience provided back for them. Our assessment reports, which is reports on the quality of care that they were able to provide. I would encourage them to keep these assessment reports in their folder or to submit them with their resume. I'm going to talk more detail about this assessment report later, but just a great tool for providing that feedback. In addition, we have a few best practices here that I'd like to suggest for integrating career development into your program. One of them would be journaling. It's just a great way to help students reflect on that simulation experience they had, whether they what they liked, what they didn't like, all those sorts of things, helping them process that as they look at careers related to infant care. In addition, we have seen teachers using requesting students to do like video journaling. We can see lots of that on YouTube, but going back to the writing is just such an important skill for jobs as well as a core standard there. In addition to journaling, we would recommend guest speakers, bringing in all sorts of guest speakers such as police. They handle shaken baby, abuse, legal consequences of mishandling a child. They can be addressing those issues. Nurses, they can be talking to the class about what it's like to work with infants in a healthcare setting. Social workers work with infants in foster care or at risk or young teen parents. And then of course, bring in a child care facility director who can give a lot of information also about a day in the life of an infant caregiver. So just some really great information by bringing in those guest speakers. Next, I'd like to mention, as Karen did, that we have this free career exploration curriculum. If we click on that, we can go to our website. And there, what you'll see when you click on that link that Karen showed you before is we have options for all these different pathways. But going right in here, you'll see that we are going to have an overview of all of our curriculum, but then also our pregnancy, our drug affected, the RealCare Baby, which is number 4, and the shaken baby. And they can click on these and then doing a resume letter and discover careers related to all of these different areas. This is free. You don't have to have any of our simulators to use this, but just a resource we've provided for you. Going on here, we also have transferable career skills that come. This is based on curriculum that is more career focused that comes with our simulators. So these are going to be, they're going to be including PowerPoints, activities that support our lessons. Much of this content can be used to teach job-related skills or background knowledge that could be used in the related careers. So again, you can see our infant care experience, the pregnancy profile, the drug-affected baby, all those things. So the RealCare Baby and the related simulators can help students explore a variety of careers, but is it effective? Does it work? In helping them provide better infant care and helping them understand. I want to quote here one of my teachers who was FACS Teacher of the Year here in Minnesota, who said, students become more empathetic in their dealings with small children after taking this course. Wow, whatever your career path your students choose, develop empathy for infants as well as their parents. This is huge. And being a better child care worker, a better pediatrician, a better educator, whatever their career path, developing that empathy for working with them is going to be huge. Then she went on to say, that this program also raises the rigor in our classrooms. Think about it. The RealCare Baby allows students to put into practice the theory that they learned in the classroom. For instance, my husband and I were really good parents the first part of our marriage, and then we had kids. I mean, like, we could talk about how our siblings should be raising their kids, and we had all the answers on what they should do, just as your students can have all the answers now about caring for an infant, but once they are put in that situation, they need to put that knowledge into reality, and that's a different story. By incorporating the theory with the hands-on practice, they are going to a new level of rigor. It's kind of like this. We're combining a standards-based curriculum plus an infant simulator experience plus student activities and assessments for a really complete and effective program. We're going to start with these assessments. The standard-based curriculum, first of all, we provide the PowerPoints, the pre and post quizzes that give you the tools you need to help assess students, the student information retention on their theory knowledge. Then, when it comes to preparing the realistic simulation or test, you can customize the experience for your student by choosing the level of difficulty. For instance, if you have a student that has learning challenges, or maybe they just have a short fuse, it might be challenging enough for them at the easy to medium level. Whereas another student might be better challenged at the medium or maybe the hard level if they're really good. Or you have the option of not knowing what kind of baby you'll have and let the computer choose. Whichever option you choose, we provide the ability to make it as challenging as you'd like for your students. At the end of a simulation, you will receive a 2-page assessment report that will provide feedback on the quality of care the student provided. Now, this report is an excellent time to discuss the successes and challenges that they had caring for an infant. It gives you detailed information. You can just take a look right there. The second page now will give us additional feedback. This environmental care data, and this is only available with the RealCare 3 Baby, but it will provide temperature feedback. So you'll know if they're taking it to a football game on a cold November Friday night and they didn't dress it properly, or if they're leaving it in a car on a hot spring day and they just left it in there and the car got too hot. In addition, we'll give feedback on clothing. You'll see on this middle part here that the sleepwear was never put on this child, and so they didn't get it ready for bed at night and then get it ready in the morning. And then we also provide feedback on the car seat, if they kept it in the car seat the whole time or were they engaging with the baby. This report is just an excellent tool for raising your students' learning to a new level. You will have deeper, richer conversations than you would have had before they had this experience, and this report just gives you an excellent tool, talking point to start with. This will be a lesson that your students will remember for years to come, and is an excellent resource to include in that employment folder. Now, we also know that certification is just key these days, and so the RealCare Baby experience and curriculum aligns to these certifications listed, and in addition, we've also aligned really well with the infant care portion of the CDA, or the Child Development Associate credential as well. But Karen, I think I'll turn it back over to you now.
Thanks, Mary. I'm not sure if anyone has noticed, but we've been talking about a lot of E's. We've talked about engaging for Generation Z, that RealCare Baby supports experiential learning. It increases enrollment in your FACS classes. RealCare Baby can encourage FACS career pathways, and it's an effective instructional tool. So we're going to finish up with ease of implementation and just talk a little bit about the RealCare Baby basics and how easy we try to make it for teachers to implement. So RealCare Baby consists of much more than just the infant simulator. You have a complete curriculum. Mary's talked about that, and she'll address that again. A means of reporting and grading for assessment tools, and all the supplies necessary for the operation of the baby. Each baby is between 6.5 and 7 pounds and between 21 and 22 inches long. So they're anatomically correct, male and female, and they come in 7 different skin tones. They've got lifelike head-neck movements, and the head does need to be supported at all times when the babies are turned on. And they even smell like baby powder. In addition to the 2-piece outfit, each baby comes with a starter wardrobe that includes a sleeper, outerwear, and bodysuit. And as Mary discussed on that report, each of these clothing items has a sensor sewn into the clothing, so the information is tracked during the simulation and is reported at the end of the experience. You'll also receive these additional items with each baby: 5 wristbands, a set of color-coded diapers, a bottle, 2 student IDs, and a participant care card. Now, while most of our schools do choose to implement the accessory bundle, that is the diaper bag, a blanket, and a car seat, because it does provide that full real-life experience. This accessory bundle is optional. The starter kit that's provided with RealCare Baby includes the Control Center software, which is a downloadable link, the X-Stick communication device, an instructor key that gives the teacher access to the inside of Baby. It's rarely used unless you have a product support issue or need to replace the batteries at some point. And you also receive all of the curriculum links, which again, Mary will discuss in a second. Something new this year, which makes it very easy to implement, is this optional student workbook. And inside this workbook, we've compiled all of the student pages from the curricula for easy implementation. So this can really save your teachers time from printing and compiling all of the worksheets. And it also provides your students with a portfolio of their experience after they've finished their simulation. Mary?
With the basic, with the RealCare Baby curriculum that we've mentioned, you're going to have access to actually all 4 curriculums. Now, if you're being career focused, the most common one you're going to be using is that basic infant care, the first one listed. And we cover in that child safety, emergency procedures, child abuse prevention, and infant toddler development. The parenting portion also covers stages of development, different parenting styles, costs of raising a child, things like that. The healthy choices is going to be the senior high version of the pregnancy prevention, kind of abstinence-based plus comprehensive curriculum. And then the life skills is more for the middle schools. So you will have access to all of this and can pick and choose all or whatever pieces, lessons you want from all of those. Now, a lot of people will say, wow, love this, want it. How on earth do I get the money for it? And so we want to address that. The funding sources. The number one place I'm seeing my customers, that we see our customers get funding, is through Carl Perkins funds. The good news is that funding is up 10% this year for Perkins, so that's really good news on a national level. In addition, they've expanded the definition of special populations, and so that now includes homeless or low economic students, and it also includes those students whose parents are on active military duty. And it also includes funds for middle school, so that's going to be really huge too. Now you go, okay, nope, no Perkins money. Then the next thing I would say is ask your principal or CTE director. I don't know how many times it happens that they'll be cutting funding for staff, but there's still going to be funding for curriculum or capital equipment. You can go either way on these because the babies do come with the curriculum and they're part of the curriculum. In addition, check with your PTA, check with your PTOs, service organizations like the Optimist Club, Knights of Columbus. I've seen people get money from banks, the local bank, or Target or Walmart retailers. We do have a funding site on our website there that gives ideas, and we even have some PowerPoints and a lot of suggestions for you there that go into more detail. The other really great news that I'm happy to tell you is right now it's a good time to be talking about this because we just announced, like on Friday of last week, that we are doing a double trade-in discount. So it's dig out those old babies, whether they're whatever babies you can find, and trade them in, and we'll give you $100 off the cost of each new baby. So that's a huge deal. That adds up very quickly. By 10 babies, you save $1,000. So that's pretty big. Now, also, I want to talk about, people also oftentimes ask, well, what about training? How do I learn? How do I know how to use these? We have a wide variety of options, from just some free online videos that you can use, or if your whole district is buying babies, you might want to pay to have one of our trainers come on site and do a full day training so everybody's up, ready to go with that. I talked to your account manager regarding what works best for you. In regards to our services we provide, we also have a product support team that is second to none. They are based in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We do not outsource our product support. You will probably call and talk to either Chris, Nate, or Nathan. Those guys, they've all been around. They are all incredibly knowledgeable, incredibly patient. I think you can ask anybody who's used them and they will rave about our product support team. So please call them. Now, lastly, I just want to, we've kind of alluded to a couple of our other related products that might also be of interest to you. We've got the RealCare 3 Baby, but if you're talking about pregnancy and that whole process, fetal development, I'd recommend our pregnancy profile for classroom demonstration. We also have our drug and our fetal alcohol babies, just really powerful lessons. And then our RealCare Baby for that simulation experience, but then our Shaken Baby. And I think that anybody working with children, especially in the child care setting, you're required to go through a Shaken Baby training. And this baby shows the effects of what happens to the brain when the baby is crying. They shake it, the crying stops, and then the part of the brain that is affected lights up. And it is just a very powerful, powerful lesson that kids will not forget. And the focus there is on prevention, coping with a crying child. And then lastly, we have our health and safety pack, which is a choking baby and a CPR baby. So with that, I think I'll turn it back to Katie if we have any questions. And we just thank you so much for listening to us today.
Thank you, Karen and Mary, for the presentation today. It looks like we're going to wrap this up, and we will get those certificates and recordings sent to all of the attendees. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.